So my dad sends me a YouTube about this man that lost his wife, and he went through a depression, and he found this dog on the side of the road in a box that was just skin and bones. So he was not big much of an animal lover, or care for them too much. So he almost didn't, but he picked it up, took it home. He thought that he would nourish it back up and then maybe take it to like some kind of a pet adoption or something, and see if they can find like a good home for the animal, for the dog. So as time passed by, he ends up, getting attached to the dog and loving the dog and a great companion. So they decide to go for a walk, and they come to the road and they stop, and the car at the stop sign, lets them know for them to go ahead and go on. So as they were fixing to cross the road, the dog was ahead of him, and two vehicles came from behind the car that stopped that told them that they can go ahead, came rushing because they were racing, and it was just too fast. He tried to pull that leash back and call his dog, and it went too fast. They hit his dog, and he just flew. When he flew, he said that he saw himself like in a dark area, and then he saw light and he saw Jesus. And Jesus was telling him that the dog, it wasn't like a coincidence that the dog had went like they found each other. They were both brokenhearted, and they nourished each other back and learned how to love and trust again. So he was talking about, he said that while they were talking, that the gentleman that went to heaven was looking around, and he saw animals together, and he saw like lions laying with tigers, and how there were animals with children that wouldn't even be near children, and they were just tame up there. And he saw his dog. So he was asking, Jesus about that, and Jesus was telling him that the dogs don't have a soul, but they are a spirit, and that, we will meet them like when we go up there. And I was just thinking about that because my brother had this dog, and they gave it to him, and he didn't want it. He was supposed to, well, he tried to give it to me, but my son at that time was really young, was afraid of him. And I'm like, no, I can't keep her. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do with her. I said, get rid of her or something. Find a good home for her. And I said, go take her to like an adoption or something where they can find a home for her. So my brother, as time passed by, and it ends up keeping the dog, naming the dog, and loving her. He had no children. He's never been married, and that was pretty much like his whole life. He carried that dog with him everywhere he went. He would take her everywhere, trips, and that was his baby. And you couldn't say nothing bad about her, because he will defend her like if that was his child. Well, my son, well, before I get to that point, my brother passed away, and he wanted me to keep his dog. And he said, it's kind of funny because like I got her for y'all because he wanted to give her to my son. He goes, and when I leave, he goes, you're gonna end up getting her like the almost like the original owner, what was supposed to have happened, back then. So, my brother passed away, and I brought her home, and I kept her. And I'll try to say this without crying because I'm already getting little. But she got kind of ill from she had like joint problems, and one day she couldn't get up, and it was hard to take care of her. I had to turn her and clean her up and turn her, and I would reposition her sometimes. And that whole weekend, bless her heart, she was like that. So I took her to the vet, and I had to put her down. And she was older, and they pretty much told me that they couldn't really do anything for her. That was probably for the best, because um, she was just too old. So I felt like I failed my brother, because he loved that dog like if it was his own. So when I had to lay her down, I almost felt like I was losing my brother all over again. So time passes by. My son tells me, if animals go to heaven, does dogs go to heaven? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if they go to heaven. I mean, the Bible, talks about animals, right? But I don't know. So then he tells me that he saw my brother's dog running to my brother like she was happy. She knew that it was her owner. And he said that my brother, with open arms, like kneel down to like grab her, and like they were just happy to be with each other. So when that man in that YouTube was talking about that, I went back to what my son had asked me and what my son had saw. It was a dream that he had. And, it just made me wonder, maybe, like I can see that, I don't know. It's very touchy. I was listening to it and I was kind of crying because I was just really paying attention to what they were saying. But I just thought that was really something. But I wanted to show you a picture of my brother. So here's a picture of my brother and his dog, Lucky. Here's another picture of them too. This is what he had on his fridge, Jay and Lucky's home. This was the day that I brought her home because my brother had passed away. And this is one of my last pictures that I have of her before I had to put her down. So for me, I think that they are together, and it makes me feel happy because that's how they were. That's how they were here. So it makes me feel better to know that. It gives me a little peace in my heart.